Brundo gave us homework, and we watched a little Samoa Joe Necro Butcher from IWA Mid South in the ECW arena. CM Punk, Dave Prazak, and Eddie Kingston on commentary.
Bryce Remsburg, the ref, too. AEW's Bryce Remsburg.
I couldn't tell if they were working or if it was a shoot, because there's times when it looks like they're talking to each other, but there's also times where they're just punching the shit out of each other.
Wait, who was on commentary?
CM Punk, Dave Prazak, and Eddie Kingston.
Brunden, who's the guy that kept mentioning on commentary?
Oh, Rob Naylor. Yeah,
What?
there was a lot of name drops of Rob Naylor. He does a podcast now. He's all over Twitter. Worked for NXT, but he was like he was a big message board guy back then.
So they just started name dropping him?
Yeah, that was the mid 2000s.
I know. I didn't know what the connection was. I had a feeling it was somebody from like the DOI or some shit like that.
Did they announce, did they at any point during this match say that CM Punk was on commentary and Eddie Kingston were on commentary? I think Eddie Kingston had to be the one dropping the F-bombs.
Well, they mentioned CM Punk on commentary specifically by name.
Okay. I think right in the beginning, Prazak says, here with CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. Okay. It's something along those lines.
I know CM Punk was like, that's my motherfucking best friend. Or no, Eddie Kingston was like, that's my motherfucking best friend, man. I was like, who the fuck is this kid out? I was like, this is awesome. I had no idea it was Eddie Kingston or Punk.
Boy,
this match was fucking
insane.
This match blew my fucking mind. First time watching it.
I've never seen it either. It was out of fucking control.
Like, what the fuck, man?
What version of Necro getting dropped on his head was the scariest to you?
The
one on the floor.
Yes, the one on the floor that left the blood print.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that the exploder off the
not the one ring? Not the power slam on the chair, in the crowd. Yeah. Not that one. That wasn't even a power slam. It was fucking.
It was like they were on the apron. It looked like he was gonna maybe go for a fucking Spanish fly, and they just fall onto his head.
No, that he was going for the Randy Orton slam and just never turned.
He never turns over. He slipped on something and then just fucking fell.
Just thump.
And the fucking blood, the blood right on the concrete. Oh. And then the way the match ends when he just fucking. He kicks him in the fucking face as hard as he could.
Yeah, well, Samoa Joe and Loki were known for that shit too, just kicking their fucking opponents in the head. That's kind of fucked up to take that if you think about it.
Bro, he's just gushing blood.
They said too, he came back from a flight from Japan the night before. I think he came back at 11 o'clock midnight the night before. All night red eye flight.
Joe or
and
Necro?
Did this match, Necro, and did this match, and then later main evented a CZW tag match too, which was equally as insane. So it's a hell of a day for the Necro Butcher.
You know what's funny, Brundo? The video that you sent has the match actually twice. So I'm thinking all right. So now I'm gonna have to watch the rematch. It's the same fucking match. I'm just like, holy shit! They did
How long did it take you to figure it out?
That's what I thought. I saw the fucking. I saw it, and I was like, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
The best part about that is that Double T said last week. he said
that.
He
did. He really did.
I fucking remember that shit.
And then I watched it, and it was over in 10 minutes, and I was like, all right. And then I watched Joe just fucking knocks him out and leaves, and then Necro's roaming around the ringside, and I'm like,
yeah, he gets up and tries to keep going.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen. Did Joe come out? Did they get another fucking fist fight? I didn't know what was happening. And then Ian Rotten fucking mumbles through some bullshit, and then they show it again.
You know, it was great. I remember when Brundo first brought it up, when I mentioned it last week, and I forgot why I watched it earlier this year. It was because Wang had put out a video on it. I don't know if you guys follow him on YouTube. He's a big wrestling fan, but he does a lot of weird internet rehash and shit like that. And he did an entire thing on the Samoa Joe Necro match, saying that it was probably his favorite match in wrestling history. and even went into the backstory where it was like Madman Pondo and Necro Butcher in a fucking tag match in Chikara where they beat the shit out of these two fucking like first year wrestling students that were fucking just trying to make a name for themselves, and they beat the piss out of them. And they were showing these dudes after the match, and one kid was like this look on his face is like, what the fuck just happened to us?
I watched
It was
that
fucking
video this week,
dude. It was disturbing, right? Like
Yeah.
it was really fucked up. And Samoa Joe was like, "Fuck you, lighting these kids up. How dare you?" And that's kind of how it led to
Want to
everything.
beat up some kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brundo, like,
Yeah.
I understand. Like, I know a little bit about the IWA. Like, they were pretty intense, right?
Yeah. They were basically what CZW was on the East Coast. They were absolute
But, like,
insane deathmatch.
where-
But then
Where would you put like the shit that we saw in this match? Like, where would you put that in like the scale of what IWA was doing? Because this shit was fucking bonkers.
one guy almost lost half his face because he got hit by a grandfather clock in IWA. Necro almost lost his arm once. So yeah, it was while not taken away from the match at all. It was they did some crazy shit out there.
I feel like
HK was the appropriate response.
I feel like in the history of IWA Mid South, though, like this is probably, I shouldn't even say probably, this is the epitome of like great matches for IWA Mid South, because as we know, as years go on and all the shit with Ian Rotten, things just fucking took a nosedive in just a couple of years after this.
Oh yeah.
But
this
like
is probably the pinnacle for them.
Yeah, but like even like Jaka like worked there for a long time. Like you hear like CM Punk and Colt
Hero.
Cabana worked there. Like a lot of guys that we know worked there for Ian Rotten. But then as years went on, like Ian fucking went off the deep end and things just
he had
went to shit.
He had that Ted Petty tournament. It was like a big tournament with all the indie stars. Like one year the finals was Joe, AJ, and Danielson.
Yeah, and then a couple years later
nobody-
after he was running it, and then he just started fucking pocketing the money and fuck Ted
I'm
Petty.
sure nobody got paid there. But,
So
yeah.
it always starts with the best of intentions.
Did you see who else was on commentary? Like for this whole show, did you see who else was on commentary?
Riccaboni?
No, friend Steve Mack,
Oh, really?
Well, that makes
Oh,
sense.
that's awesome.
Tracy Smothers,
Holy shit.
Allison Danger, fucking Mickey Knuckles won the NWA Midwest Women's title on the same show that the Joe Necro Butcher match was on.
Brundo, you picked the wrong match, man.
And Claudio wrestled Tracy Smothers for fucking 18 minutes.
Holy shit.
That guy will never draw a dime.
What year is this from? I watched it twice, but what year?
2006.
Jeez, Lou.
Jeezaloo indeed.
And this really, like, after this, too, like, Necro really kind of took off. Like, other people, he would get his stuff through Ring of Honor. Maybe, like, a year or two, he'd become a regular there. I was at a show, I saw Necro versus Morishima. Like, what kind of dream match that would... Well,
Necro looked so old, Matt. Like, when we, like... when we saw him at like PWS, like back in the day, like at the anniversary show, like one of our first events,
shit then.
He looked old as fuck. And this is only like 6 years or 7 years after this match. He looked like a completely different person.
He looks downright decrepit nowadays. You see him in XPW as Mega Butcher, he looks fucking like ancient.
Yeah. Looks
I don't know. I think he actually looks healthier now than he did.
Yeah, but now he's just like he just wears like Zubaz or pajama pants. Like it's like a completely different fucking Necro Butcher. Although that cocksucker really does fucking punch. Like you talk to people that have wrestled him, like he punches the shit out of people. Like there's no work in those punches.
Who was that? I think that Pondo said Necro was the hardest puncher he's ever been in the ring with.
Yeah, and then Pondo starts throwing live rounds back. He goes, "Let me guess, I'm hitting you too hard." That was the greatest fucking line of the interview. He's like, "Yeah."
Unreal.
Holy shit!
Wild.
No, this was a great watch. I'm glad you brought this to the show, and I'm glad I had a chance to watch it again. I fucking love this match.
Yeah,
I hadn't watched it in a while.
First time seeing it, man. It blew my mind. And it started off like so intense too, like fucking throwing fucking Bryce Renberg like out of the fucking way like twice. Each guy does it. And that blew my mind too, that it was fucking Renberg too. So seeing him out there doing that shit, and then it started off like, oh, this is an intense match, and then death happened. Like,
Yeah.
it was like unreal.
Yeah, like I didn't like the match. Like just being honest, I didn't fucking like
Now
it.
he's okay.
Didn't fucking like it. Like when he threw the ref over the to the outside to begin, I was like, oh shit, this could be something. And then the brutality that happened after that, that's just not for me. Like I just couldn't get like the fucking fall on his face and the Joe throwing like machine gun punches, but not really punches. But then all of a sudden, Necro's punching him with live. Like it is not. And if you're into it, you're into it, and I can appreciate it for you like it. I'm watching it going, fuck this, fuck all of this. I fucking hate it. And then when he essentially fell off the apron and cracks his fucking skull, I went, yep. I don't ever need to see this shit again. Fuck this. And then I started worrying about you, Brundo. Why did you pick this, man? What happened to you that this was that you like every? I hope people love this, man. No, what are you doing to me?
What do you expect a used condom to do?
Yeah, seriously.
Honestly, though, I think 10 or 11 minutes, whatever this thing went, that was like the perfect amount of time for this thing.
Yeah.
It was brutal. Necro got his ass kicked. He couldn't get up for the 10 count, even though he tried. A perfect ending, get out. This is all it had to be and all it needed to be. I liked it. Sorry, HK. I know we agree on a lot of shit, but I like this one.
You don't have to apologize. It's not for me, right? I know I don't like that level of brutality. I was going, what the fuck is happening here? Somebody needs to call their mother or children, right? Something is going wrong here.
Something is going wrong.
So, if you're listening to this is the first time tuning in, or you just missed it last week, the link to this match is in episode 718's description on YouTube and Spotify. So just go there, click the link. It'll send you right there. You can watch it, and we'd love to hear what you think about it. Tonight, Handsome Kevin is going to give us some homework, and by the sounds of it, it's going to be the complete opposite of what Brundo had assigned to us.
So Larry's Bisco death matches out there?
No, of course not.
They're all death matches, Brundo, because the audience dies when they watch them.
Oh, Tony!
Sorry, bro. I couldn't let that hang.
I know it was hanging there, but come on. No, I thought about it a lot, and there was a couple of matches I definitely wanted to bring to the table. I couldn't find links to them. Some of them just aren't out there anymore. And then I was going, okay, well, obviously Bobby Backs, right? You all expect Bobby Backs. I'm not giving you Bobby Backs. I'm not doing that, right?
Taff Cappy? Taff Cappy.
No Taff Cappy.
Fuck.
And then I thought, obviously Heavenly Bodies, right? Love the Heavenly Bodies. We all love the Heavenly Bodies. Was going to go that route with it. Thought, you know what? No, that's too obvious. I found a new appreciation for this gentleman, and I thought, boy, it's been 20 years, probably about 20 years since I've watched this match, because I haven't gone back and watched it since the pay-per-view. It is Great American Bash 2004.
Wow.
Do you know which one it is?
Great American Bash 2004.
Kidman London? Was that on that one?
It is not Kidman London.
No.
It wasn't Eddie and JBL.
Bull rope match. Yes, it is. I have not. I've found a new appreciation for JBL, like what he's doing, what he's out there. Obviously, always been an appreciation for Eddie, but I wanted to watch something kind of from that era. I wanted you guys to watch something from that era. Yeah, JBL Bradshaw,
Great
American Bash 2004, and I haven't gone back and watched it. I remember loving it, just haven't gone back and watched it.
You had a Matt moment there. You said JBL Bradshaw.
Yeah, I fucked it up. It's all right. It's all right.
I didn't notice. That's crazy.
That's a good one. I'm kind of surprised you went with that one, that you didn't like the brutality of Brundo's match.
Well, see, and that played into it too, because I was like, well, I can't fucking pick a match that I'd actually, love because you guys call me a pussy, right? Where's the blood? Come on, pussy. So I didn't do that, right?
You shouldn't do that.
And there was
a bloody ass match.
It's a very bloody match, and I remember that about it. But I can't believe that it's anywhere near, because the brutality that you brought to us, Brunden.
Yes.
Shame on you. But this brutality, from what I remember, is a little bit more artistically done. So I'm gonna go that.
Artistic brutality.